Hello! Welcome, troops! This is Heroes and Generals Devstream number 26, live from Copenhagen. And look who's back.
Hello!
So,
we're back.
We're back. But you weren't gone. Oh, yeah. Wait, you were there last week.
Last week we had a shortage of men, so we couldn't really do anything. So.
Oh, no, you weren't there last week. No, that's true. So, today we are going to talk about damage. What is damage?
I think wasn't we going to do a little bit about the
other stuff.
The other stuff.
The other stuff first.
On your list. I think you jumped straight away to number 2.
Yeah, because damage is awesome. Damage. But okay, maybe a little intro, a little note about people have been asking about what we are doing. It's kind of a topic that comes back a lot. What we're doing about griefing, about hacking, cheating, about people grinding stats instead of playing. What are we doing? Send me reports. I do investigate every single report that you send.
Yeah. We had the possibility of actually looking into like replaying each match, so we can see that if people are doing stuff that we don't want to do.
I'm not going to replay the whole thing.
I'm
not going to replay every single match and watch it from beginning to end. But
you do investigate.
If something sounds fishy, I'm going to go and follow the guy and look what he was doing in the game. And
obviously it's not okay to have players who just stand and stare into a wall or crawl across the map just to grind stats. I think we are actually investigating into this matter a bit more now, because it seems like some players would like us to do that. So we are looking into actually getting some stats out of the database to see, is it a big problem, or is it
kind of behavior is
is it something that is just like, when you notice it, you just get so pissed that you have to say the whole world does it, and it might not be the case. But
there's a thing called confirmation bias, right? When you start looking for something, you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it's happening all the time. Yeah. There's a thing I hear a lot, is that the guys from the other faction are making new accounts and joining the battles to fuck up our strategies.
That's more like
it doesn't really happen.
No, that's too much of a tinfoil hat.
It's so much trouble to actually build an account and go and have 2 machines at the same time. It used to happen when we had a very small player base.
Yeah.
And right now it's like it has no impact if you do that. It's like it's a waste of time. If you go and try to do that, to change on the grand scale of things, doing that is a waste of time. So people don't really do it, but there's people who are convinced, like, if we're losing, there's some guy, if I bring up the scoreboard, I see this guy has 0 kills, he must be a traitor.
Oh, but hey, check me out when I'm playing online or live. You would see me having 0 kills.
I'm saying, don't be too paranoid. It's like sometimes. I mean,
it's okay to if you can catch somebody who persistently does stuff like this. Then we'll look into it.
If you see that somebody, like, in every single game that they join, they're just.
But we actually had some. So we have some. Stats grinding people, and I think we did catch a few Chinese guys. Apparently, who tried to, and I think
they're not all Chinese, but it's popular in China.
Probably in China, but I think it's something to do with this, where they grind up an account and then try to sell it or something like that. We had this.
I don't think we got to the selling part.
No, why would you ever do that? But then it's a lot of trouble to go through just to get. To grind a character. These guys that was doing the long range sniping thing, where you position yourself at the far end of the. You have to have 2 accounts first of all.
And you get like a tiny bit of XP every time.
And you have to shoot and then wait for him to heal up, and shoot and wait for him to heal up, and it's just I don't know.
Yeah, if you see people doing that.
See people, and obviously these guys just got banned instantly, because that's just like abusing the game.
It's very obvious also.
Yeah, but we are actually working into, first of all, to get some more statistics on if it is a problem or if it's not a problem. We obviously listen to when people start to complain about it, but we need some more. We usually need some solid or some more data to back it up before we start to take our precious programmer time to implement measures for stuff like this. Obviously, there's always the discussion about the AFK and what should be done about it. When should people be kicked or not kicked, and kick vote and all that stuff. But we are actually looking a little bit into that now and see if we can do something that will assure the worried people that we don't like people to just log into the game and just put their character into the far end of the map and just stay there forever. That's
collecting welfare.
Yeah, that's not good. So we will do something about that stuff if it's a problem.
If it's a problem, I think we covered it.
Did we cover this? There's also it's just like obviously the purpose of the game is to actually play the game and not to grief and grind.
See what else you can do besides playing.
Yeah.
This being said, we're certainly investigating every report that you send, and unfortunately, it's like when you send me a report, I can't give you a personalized reply. I get a lot of reports, so you will get a kind of robot response, which is like, yes, acknowledged, but it's me sending you I'm clicking the mouse, so it's a human reading your message. This being said, damage.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about damage today, I think.
Not just a little bit.
A lot about damage, I think. It seems like a lot of players have trouble understanding how the damage works in the game. When you shoot at somebody, how much does it count for? That everybody's on about this 3-shot kill, 2-shot kill, 1-shot kill, and how do we calculate it? Basically, you could say that whenever a hit is detected on your soldier, we divide the soldier into certain areas. It would be the head and the torso and the arms and the legs, and these different body parts have different multipliers on the damage. So you can say, first of all, a hit is detected. It says, this shot will give you 50 hit points of damage, and then we multiply that number with what body part got hit, and that is what is given to the character. Torso hits is just straight away. That's just multiplied by 1, which is 1. In the 50, that would be 50 points of damage. Getting hit in the arm counts as 0.5, which means that if it was a 50 hit point hit, then if you only hit in the arm, it would be 25 hit points. And then we have in the leg, it's actually 0.8, 0.8, which I can't do in my head.
80%.
It's more. Sorry, it would be 40, obviously, instead of 50.
Yeah.
Hit points. And then we have the head and neck area, which would count as a headshot. And the thing is that headshots are in our game not entirely headshots. It's not an insta kill. It's we multiply by 4, which would obviously, in most cases, bring you far above the 100 hit points that is needed to kill a person, a soldier. So that's basically how it works. Multipliers on different body parts.
What's the lowest damage value you get from a single bullet?
The lowest damage value you can get.
Is it always 50 or is it?
No. I will show that
later on.
It depends on the distance, obviously, and which weapon fires the bullet. We can maybe we should show a little bit about that. If you could switch to the screen here, I can go in here and see my prepared this German soldier in advance for people to see, and we can take my trusty old carabiner. There we go, and you can see you'll see here down here the damage graph, which is here. It's almost just a flat blue line. The blue line obviously shows the default ammunition for the weapon, the base ammunition. And I'm going to. You can see that this bullet actually drops to something that looks like 40 hit points on a distance of over 500 meters. That means that if you have a torso shot, this weapon is a 3-shot kill weapon on a distance, and on close range, it's a 2-shot kill weapon. I think actually the difference between the bolt action rifle and the you can see here I'm taking the semi-auto Gewehr 34. It's here you have the basic damage is just below 50, which would mean that the semi-auto rifles are in their standard configuration. They are 3-shot kill weapons, but as soon as you start to fiddle with the ammunition, just take the. Let's see, this is this one, the SS Patrone. Get that one. As soon as you take that one, you can see now it shows the yellow one. It just creeps above 50 hit points, which means this is now turned from a 3-shot kill weapon into a 2-shot kill weapon.
Yeah, by the way, what do the abbreviations mean? SME, SS?
What is it? It's some German Schuss mit Eisenkern, I think it's the.
Okay.
It's like it's a shot with iron core.
Yeah.
I think it's an abbreviation of that. And I think the SS is with the steel core version.
Aha. Stahlkern, something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I bet you some of our our players know that better than me. Can't remember it though. You can see we have for the German we have four different types of Mauser ammunition, which all of them behaves kind of differently. We'll take this one as well, which is the SMK Hard. This is actually an armor-piercing bullet. We use this one as a base ammo for the Panzer I machine gun as well. And we can have the Anschlusspatrone, which is the sniper ammunition. And you can see that the differences here is quite noticeable. Obviously, the SS Patrone is the first one you'll choose if you just want a bit more damage. It just performs a little bit better on all accounts. It does a little bit more range and a little bit more damage.
And it sacrifices
obviously precision.
Yeah.
And if you take this one, the armor piercing one, you'll see that the graph now actually obviously it goes a long way up. So now it gets into the area where you will. Maybe I should talk about that as well. The heavy set badge obviously works in conjunction with this with the damage. What you can do to counter the 2-shot kill weapons is obviously wear the combat badge called the heavy set. What the heavy set actually does, it after you have after we do the hit calculation of how many hit points you're getting deducted or hit with, we multiply that again with a percentage, so it lowers that number even more.
So it's multiplied by 0.95.
Yeah, the gold one is multiplied by 0.85. Or you could also do the reverse, where say I think that equals that you will, instead of 100 hit points, you will have 117. I think it is. That is the it equals if you just do the reverse, because calculation. So you could do, and that's maybe easier to remember when you try to calculate it. Is that it's the opposite. So obviously your
Windows calculator. Wait.
Yeah, having a gun that does you 51%.
You're right. 117. Yeah, 117.6. Like, ooh. Yeah.
No, but that also means that before, if you have 100 hit points, 51 per shot is enough to make the weapon into a 2-shot kill weapon. But now you have 117, and it becomes a 3-shot kill weapon again. So it's not everybody that you can kill with the first
type of ammo.
Yeah, the first type of ammo we have.
So yeah, I just got the info from Colin here. S was for schweres Spitzgeschoss.
Okay, that's
so that's heavy Spitz.
That's heavy pointed bullet.
That's point, yeah, Spitz.
Heavy pointed bullet.
I'm Spitze. So,
but you see, we have one other here. The SMK Hard does a lot more damage. And this one will actually get you to be a two-shot kill weapon, even though you have the silver version of the heavy set badge. This one, 90%. So it's only the gold one that will protect you from this bullet. Let's get back in here. This baby. But as you can see, it has a lot. The range is just more a lot poorer. So it'll actually it's not a smart tactic to use this one in your long range rifles, because the range will just be so much worse.
Unless you're intending to use that at short
Unless
range.
you intend to use it on short range. This one actually goes a lot more in maybe the machine guns, the LMGs, or in the semi-auto rifles, where you tend to use them on a shorter range anyway.
I actually didn't try to equip all the different ammo in every type of weapon. Is it always the same ammo that keeps being available for all weapons, or?
This the Mauser 7.92 goes for all the say rifle type, German rifle type weapons. That would be the obviously the semi-auto rifles, the bolt action rifles, the sniper rifles, and the light machine guns. And it actually goes into most of the tank guns as well, and it's also used as a machine gun in the Messerschmitt. So they use the same ammunition for most guns. That was actually part of the big update we made on the weapon systems. Actually in Timoshenko was to align all the ammunition, so they actually use the same ammunition in the game, and it's the weapon that sort of like modifies the performance of the bullet. So it's the weapon plus the ammunition that actually gives the effect. Interesting, you can see here the Anschlusspatrone, which is the sniper ammunition, have a very different profile. It's very flat in its damage fall off, which makes it really good for long range sniping, because it still performs well on a long distance. Obviously, this system we have now, we can. We can just it's not that hard for us to introduce more ammunition or different types of ammunition, which we are going to do in the future, so people will have more to choose from. That has been the whole idea of realigning everything and cleaning up the back end, is to be able to say, yeah, I'm going to introduce one new 7.92 bullet, and it's going to be available for all the different guns. It has these characteristics, and in combination with the gun, it sort of like performs in a certain way. It's up for the players to try out what they like the most.
Can you show some of the other weapons? What kind of ammo they have?
You see here, I can take the... here you go.
So that's the same, right?
It is exactly the same, yeah.
Okay, if you get like an SMG, if you have one.
I have my... Don't I have a...
We got the Russian one.
I cannot upgrade that one, obviously, because I'm...
that's true, it's captured. Yeah.
I will go in with here on my fake test account and just
grab that one. Yeah.
Buy this one. Cool. So this one uses the 9mm Parabellum ammunition, which is the same as the pistols, but that's how it works. It's the submachine guns use pistol ammunition. Actually, it has sort of like the same different types of ammunition.
Because a submachine gun, actually, originally they were called machine pistole. I mean, the Germans always called them that. But that's what they were. I've seen some of the early ones that really was a little pistol that had
actually the Mauser pistol we have. I will just get it here. This one actually originally have a buttstock as well.
Exactly. That's what
interesting to have as an upgrade at some point, just for the sake of
weirdness.
Yeah. It's also Han Solo's gun, you can see. For all the Star Wars fans out there.
But there's like a version with the buttstock and the like a super long magazine.
Yeah, it's actually an excellent gun. So it's we should do some more upgrades for it. Actually, there's one more thing to mention about the damage system. Is for the people who haven't noticed yet, we have a damage regenerator feature. It means that if you're hit by a bullet, you will regenerate your hit points up to 100, unless you take more than 40% damage. If you are below the 60%, then you will stay at 60%, and even lower, 30%, you get below 30%. So there is, when people talk about the whole, people like to talk about damage per second, which is obviously also a number that you would like to put into your calculation of how effective is a weapon, is how many shots at a certain damage can I produce at a short range of a short period of time. Especially the machine guns are. You would like to use that calculation. Doesn't really matter that your weapon is producing a high damage per bullet if it shoots one bullet every minute, for example. Then you have time to regenerate within each shot. So that actually the regeneration time that counts into the whole damage per second calculation as well. I think we're getting into an area where it's very specific, and it's generally not something that we're working with such small numbers that it doesn't really matter that much in the game. You have to be at a very close distance, and you have to be hitting everybody in the torso every shot and stuff like that. So it's something that some players complain about it when it's not wrong, but we can see most cases it's not that important. It's more important if you can. I would say that the most important thing is if you can make headshots. That would be that's the best thing. If you, or at least do that as you usually say, aim for the chest, and then your second shot will be a headshot, something like that. Or usually when you run around, always have your crosshair in a position where if an enemy pops up, you will shoot him just straight in the head. There's different tactics. Players use different tactics, but I think it does pay off to aim a little bit better, and obviously to be as close as possible to your target when you shoot, because that will produce more damage, because as you saw before, the damage over time is
over distance.
It actually
over space time.
See if I can find one of the pistols here, because it's more it's easy to see with the pistols.
There's different types, right?
Yeah. Handgun. Oh, this handgun. Let's see. Should we just give myself some XP here? We have it. Good. 1 billion XP.
There we go.
There you go. Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, that's something you can't do on your. No, but like I can't do it for your live account. That's a test server.
This is a test server, yeah. So obviously we need to be able to do this. I can say this one is interesting. This is a hollow point style bullet, and you'll see it actually drops pretty aggressively. 50 meters, and you're already down into something that looks like 18 hit points. It means
so that 50 meters is like the length of the police station.
Something like that. Yeah.
From
pistols,
like
you need to be
the biggest distance,
fairly close.
Yeah.
So it's a good weapon for the. That's why it's a good sniper sidearm. So if you get into close combat or close range combat with somebody, and you're a sniper, then it's good to combine it with a pistol, because then you can take him out, and just obviously put in some high power.
Full Faust. Sounds nasty.
Maybe I should do. Yeah, we are actually. It's not going to be in the next update, but. Hopefully, the next update, we have done a fairly thorough run through of all the weapons and how they perform, and we are going to do a lot of. It's going to be a bundle of small fixes, lots of small fixes. So I hope that's something that people enjoy. For example, And we also run some stats on how the weapons perform, and we can see that I think we the next session we should maybe talk a little bit about those statistics, and it seems like the weapons are fairly okay balanced, contrary to what people actually believe. You can see that out of the data that they perform roughly like they should. Obviously, data like that is something that you have to take a little bit of. It's not specifically that it always performs like the data says, but generally, I think it is performing pretty much as we expected. There's a few that we need to adjust. For example, the revolver seems to be not performing as well as it should, and it might be because it's huge slower maybe than the other pistols, and not as many bullets, which is why for that particular weapon we are going to introduce a new type of ammunition, super Dirty Harry-ish hand cannon style ammunition that only goes for the revolver, but that's for the V build, I think it is.
But in the now we're not gonna. I think we get into the whole scope thing.
Yeah, the scope stuff we can talk about that as well. But actually, I want to finish off the. I
think it's one of the questions, isn't it? Yeah, it's one of. We'll answer the question when we read it. Yeah.
We're also going to do this. People have been talking a lot about this. Why is there a difference on the hit point or the equipment points for the sniper rifles versus the scoped or the bolt action? That's
the one without the scope. Right?
And that's going to be corrected for that update, and we're just going to give the recons an extra equipment point so they can still equip it. On top of that, we are going to, on all the weapons, add the possibility to not carry extra ammunition. So you can do this for pistols as well. You can drop down to one
equipment point.
And just only have one magazine with you. So that makes it an interesting weapon for example, for recons. You can do the same with mines. You just have one AP mine and one and pistol, and still have your sniper rifle. Then you're pretty good setup for a recon. It gives them more flexibility for the whole loadout.
Just in case you meet something.
Yeah, but actually that's the classic way of just put the AP mine behind you and you're safe, sort of.
Did people really do that in real life? I mean,
I don't know.
Just gonna go.
I know Rambo did it. But he's smart.
Burma's a war zone.
I
have to watch that one again, the new one.
You don't want to go to Burma. Burma's a war
Rambo's
zone.
awesome. It's awesome. I love it. There's lots of minor tweaks coming up for the weapons.
Speaking of weapons, I had to make this announcement. We identified a issue. There's a little bug with the weapon unlocks since Timoshenko. We don't have a list of the weapons it affects right now, but I've seen like bazookas, captured bazookas being affected.
Something to do with the unlocks that makes the people who already unlocked, and I think it has to do with
buying for gold. So the weapons that
captured weapons mainly. We are investigating the
what it is exactly, and so basically the big picture is if you see you have a weapon that you can buy from the shop. So it's available from the shop. You already own it, but on your character, when you try to equip it on your character, it says not available for this character. Usually, it's not available for infantry.
Yeah,
but yet you could go and buy it from the shop. That's a bug.
Yeah, and we are going to fix that.
We're working on that.
We're looking into the issues because it seems to be a more complex issue than just fixing one weapon. Yeah. It seems like it affects actually more than one weapon. We only found it a few places, but it's something that we would like to investigate a bit more before just fixing it one place. We need to know why it actually got into this situation. So yeah,
we're working on it.
Yeah, highly annoying bug, but
it should be like sometime next week. I think Christopher says he will probably we'll need to roll that out as a redeploy, unfortunately, so that all the annoying maintenance. That's another thing I had to mention. All the annoying maintenance. What was it? Wednesday. The server thing. It was Wednesday, right?
It was. Everything just broke down.
Wednesday. That was the unlikely yet probable thing that may happen sometimes is that our backup decided to die at the same time as our. I think like we had 2 backups, right?
There's one server that got. We have master and slave on all the server setups, as far as I am aware. And the master started showing trouble, so we took it offline and switched to the slave in order to upgrade the master. And while we did that, the slave just broke down as well. So we were just caught in a both servers were broke. And for some bizarre reason, our data center is in Holland, so we can't. It's not us just switching the hardware around. We have to call some guys and ask them to do that. But after they changed the hardware, the server just wouldn't come back alive again. So we had a lot of trying to reboot and reconfiguration, and it just took forever. And it's obviously highly annoying for everybody. Even it's also highly annoying for us because it's embarrassing that stuff like that happens. But
also, I mean, it does disrupt everything for everybody. So, but people were really worried, and it kind of brought to our attention that not a lot of people know that. But when we take the game offline, all the veteran memberships it's paused. You basically will get your veteran membership time once the game comes back online. And you will, if you have, for example, ribbon boosters activated, they will be reset to basically you can activate them again and get the 4 hours. Yeah. So all that's taken into account because I got a lot of worried tickets about that, saying, okay, we will get compensated. You automatically get your veteran membership back. So that covers that. I think we could take the. We got some of the questions from the forums that we, I think, didn't skip anything else. No.
Did I match? Did I forget anything? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Nope.
So there was.
What's happening here? Is people just rebooting the servers out there?
Most likely. Well, anyway, we didn't really. Did we want to show something?
No, just maybe I should mention to all the players who haven't found out yet that the heavy set badge is a favorite among everybody because it actually protects you quite a lot. So it's and it's the one we use when we adjust damage. It's you will see it's it's unlocked with the physical fitness.
Actually, we should show this. Yeah. This is on our wiki, by the way. If this is the first time you see it, wiki.heroesandgenerals.com or heroesandgenerals.gamepedia.com. This is updated by our players, so we don't necessarily vouch for the accuracy of everything.
No,
but most of the time it tells the truth. So you can see, for example, what badge you need.
But a lot of the detailed information should be available in the game as well. Usually there is a more flavor to the text that's written on the wiki. It's supposed to be a place where you can elaborate a little bit more about how stuff works and maybe good combinations for combat badges and stuff like that.
But if you see something that's not not right, that sounds
it's free for everybody. Just go in and change
it.
Yeah. And sometimes these guys that runs the site actually run some competitions. And
we've had one where basically the people who made the most useful edits in a certain period of time got some. We gave some gold to them. Mm-hmm. So it's always fun to go and have a look at the wiki.
And you can see the physical training ribbon. That is something that everybody gets from just running around and sprinting and actually bicycle riding as well. So it should be something that everybody unlocks over time. Fairly easy to unlock. And it's the Marathon Man and the heavy set badges are pretty good. But get the gold one. It's the best.
So, what was I going to say? That with the wiki, you wanted to show just there's another thing we have to mention later on, the screenshot competition, but we'll take that at the end. There was questions from the forum that we wanted to answer. There's a question from Red Fox 4 saying, Is the lack of gun depression on the T-34 tank, as well as the Su-85 tank destroyer, is it intended or is it simply a bug? And what he means by gun depression is like how much you can lower your aim towards the ground, and it is different, right? So
yeah, it is actually. It's, as far as I understood, I've been talking with the guy who set it up, and yes, it's true that it's actually now as it is now. It's historically correct.
That's what he told me, that it's historically correct that the Russian Soviet tanks had the
they couldn't point down because the tanks were designed more to be a forward, like an aggressive attack weapon. So they didn't. They were just not designed to be shooting down in the ground. But the German tanks they could actually shoot a bit more down.
Yeah.
But and that's how it's currently in the game, which gives the German tanks a bit of an advantage. And as far as I understand, we are going to maybe look a little bit into that and adjusting it so that the Soviet tanks are not. They get a little. They can depress a little bit more than they could historically.
Yeah, because
just to make them a little bit better, balance it out a little bit. So because it's something that actually annoys people a little bit more.
There was a follow-up question to it about how the coaxial machine gun has its aim centered a bit above the actual crosshairs, and how the vehicle grip. Sometimes the vehicles are skidding when one of the wheels is not touching the ground, but all that I've been told that's for a tank update that will come later.
I think it's also it's a relatively complex setup of the tanks, and it might be different from tank to tank because it is. It's a complicated setup of all the wheels and everything. So I'd rather not go into too much detail about that without having the proper data to show people. Otherwise, it might just be super confusing.
So also we have a question from Jair Marco, saying when can the U.S. infantry use the M1 carbine? I keep wanting to say carabine. Carabine.
That should be part of our weapon update coming soon to a theater near you.
There isn't much to say about that.
But we are. Obviously, it comes in with the whole weapon update. We can skip to that question about.
No, actually, I can answer that one. It's
okay.
People are worried about that thing since the resource pooling update came into effect. Kilo Wolf is asking, please explain if I send one armor 80 into a fight, can 16 people all spawn armor right now and completely drain my assault team supply in one spawn? Technically, no. Yes and no. It's you can't spawn all 16 armor right away.
Nope.
That's the thing that people don't. It's not obvious when you look at just the thing is that the way the matchmaker sends people into the game is it's a bit tricky, and the way that Henning HAL 9000 explained it to me is that you're basically it's actually Tobias who's in charge of that. That when you start a game, it has, let's say for example, it has one light tank assault team. I think that one has 3 spawn slots. It has 3 soldier slots, if I'm not mistaken. So you get a squad of 3 people that is created in the action game based on what the resources are from the strategy game, and then if from that assault team, a squad of 3 people is not enough to basically accommodate all the players who want to join that battle, another squad is created later. But that once the squad is full, the action game has to request that another squad is created. So there's a certain delay, and then that squad has to be filled up, and basically the matchmaker takes a little bit of time to put in new players, and then a new squad is filled. We create a third one, but it takes that time. Plus, it takes the delay that basically there's a built-in delay. Like you can only spawn so much armor
Yeah.
at a certain rate. So you can't have a game where everybody goes like, I'm going to be a tanker. Okay, me too. And then just basically spawn all your tanks right away. That doesn't happen. So
they are allowed in a certain.
But you could end up with a battle where everybody's using the same thing at some point. That is not impossible.
It's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely to do that.
So, and of course, if we see that it's a problem,
we'll just put a cap on it.
So, next question. Bullseye89 is saying...
Hey, look what I found on the floor.
Oh, look at that. Mine is better. I brought it from home. I brewed this myself. No. I like this one because it has all the weird Danish letters almost in one word, in one 3-letter word. R-Ø.
You need the O as well, then you're good.
Yeah, the O. Yeah, if it was called R-Ø, it would be.
It will sound like that when you get a few of them.
So, Bullseye and the Soviet Ruski, I think that's what it means. Yes, Soviet Ruski, are asking when you add the new scopes for bolt-action rifles and semi-auto rifles, will the zoom be less for infantry than recon, or will the scopes just be poorer quality and not as stable?
When you add the new scopes,
he decided that this was going to happen.
He's an oracle because he just foresaw what we're going to do pretty soon, or we're actually working on it right now. Players might have noticed that we did we had to bring back something that we took away last week. We decided to. Well, it's been something that we actually wanted to remove for a long time. The infantry sniper rifle. It was put in because we want to have a bit of a spillover between the different classes, obviously, to make it more fun, and the availability of the sniper rifle for the infantry was a bit too powerful for some players. We also thought it was a bit too powerful to unlock, even though that you were not allowed to modify the sniper rifle as an infantryman. It seems like a very popular item, and it was. As soon as we removed it, we got shitloads of complaints from people who was like almost close at unlocking it. No, it's gone away. Fuck yes. That's
but for a lot of people, it was like the end goal.
It's I'm gonna grind to the scope. Didn't really foresee that, so we decided to put it in again and accelerate the process of being able to like put new scopes on your rifles as a side modifier, and that is one of the major things we're working on for the. Not for the UTS build, for the next build. I personally think it's going to be awesome. And at that time, we are going to make some changes to the current infantry sniper rifles. We are going to switch them around to the new setup.
So everybody who's got the current scoped rifle
they will
get a different scope on the
But what the a little bit about the
you're saying that the guy who asked the question, or the guys on the chat who are freaking out there?
The guy is asking some questions about the zoom and everything for this. I think
sorry, there's a kind of follow up to the question. You said in the last dev stream that the scopes for other than recon were going to have much less zoom, for example 1.5.
Yeah.
Or that maybe recons would have the choice between 1.5 to 3.
We are currently working on. Actually, it's a bit odd because when you look into scopes, it seems like the Germans, they really like their optics. They have a huge range of different scopes and reticles and all sorts of crazy stuff that's awesome and cool. And then you have in the other end, you have the Soviets with like one scope. So obviously we do need to do a little bit of historically inaccurate magic in order to give the Soviets a bit more scopes to play with. But we are going for we're going for basically having 3 different scopes for each faction, like a low zoom one that's available for infantry, then a medium range one, and then a high range scope, and within those 3 categories, different variations of reticles and stuff. It seems like there's lots of different cool reticles. So we actually put quite a lot of effort into this update with the scopes. We're also aiming to be able to fit the scopes on various different rifles. Obviously, the bolt action ones is the most common ones that have the most powerful scopes, and the powerful scopes are obviously only available for recon. But the infantry guys will have access to the not so powerful, the lower tier scopes. On the other hand, we are preparing the lower tier scopes to be available to mount on, for example, the semi-auto rifles as well. Garand with a low scope, it's awesome. It's I think it's something that's would be a nice addition to the mods for those rifles. We're also looking into maybe the carbine should have a scope, and people would be screaming if we don't add it to the FG42 as well, which we are. So lots of scopes are coming up at some point.
But when you, like as it is right now, when you go into precision mode, you are sort of getting some kind of zoom factor going on,
reworking
right?
that whole that whole thing. It's not completely set in stone, but we are working with a setup now where when you go to iron sight, you don't really zoom. You just have a better, more precise aim, and that's it. And as soon as you put on a scope, you go to 1.5 zoom for the lowest tier scope, and up to 8 times zoom for the most powerful one. So there's a wide range of scopes, and it actually works pretty well with the iron sight non-zoom thingy. So, but we do expect that to change the gameplay a bit. It will bring the action closer to the players. So it's something that we are a bit cautious about, but I think it's something that we will need to try. So I guess that's basically the we will probably, when we get closer to having something to show, we'll show it in the Twitch session.
Yes,
scopes are cool. We also added they thought about adding the scope to the MG42, but only for gold. No, I'm joking. I'm just joking.
Especially the scope to MG42, that would be awesome. Like, your vision goes.
Haven't you seen actually the modern version of the MG42, the MG whatever it's called?
76.
It's used in a Danish army.
76, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It actually has a scope on it.
Did it? Really?
Yeah. Yes.
It's like you use it once to just kind of get an idea of where you're going to be shooting, and then what?
Nope, it just mounted a scope.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh yeah,
the shovels thing. We need to put that one as well. Ta-da! I'm really looking forward to the scope stuff when it comes into the game. I think it's awesome. I think, can we show this? I actually think it's. Just a second. Let's see if we can find. If you go to Google, you obviously you go to Garand, and then you'll see what we mean by cool stuff for the Garand. Obviously, these are not wartime modifications, but there are some. I think it's for the wartime. It's actually fitted on the side of the.
That's a
Garand.
Ah, yeah, that is a Garand.
Yeah. Obviously, this one is not. We're not gonna add all the modern stuff, but the old time. There's lots of different ways to mount a scope, and it would also be nice to have some of these hunting rifle type things in the game as well. Oh, obviously, yes, we need this stuff. Might be entering soon. Oh, I'm not going to say more about that. People are going to freak out. So yeah, scopes are going to be in the game soon.
So,
and actually, what I want to say is that we haven't completely decided that yet, but we will be removing the recon style scopes from the infantry and giving them a lesser powerful one.
So that makes yep, that's about that. How do you say that? Blogaugis, I guess is his name, is asking, will there be any vehicles that have more than one manable machine gun, or even better, will there be a possibility to use your own weapons while being a passenger?
Oh, I think we discussed that one before, didn't we? With the shooting from the vehicle and all that stuff.
We talked about it yesterday a little bit.
Yeah, it's something that we have been looking into. We do get the request quite often. That, I want to be able to shoot from the vehicle. It does just requires a lot of animation and there's a lot of testing or shooting the driver, and also there's lots of problems involved in that. But we think it's cool, and we are looking into, can we come up with a simple way to add this feature at a certain point. Obviously, we are also with I think the feature with the scopes. If we can get back to that. That's our entry into physically changing stuff on weapons. And that will also be a system that we can use for vehicles at some point. So we can, when you upgrade your vehicle or your weapon, you can actually have physically detachable things, upgrades. We just start with the scopes because that seems like the most obvious place to start. And one thing could be I'm saying could because that is definitely not decided yet, but one thing that you could imagine having as an upgrade for a vehicle would be mounting a second
flag.
Second machine gun or another machine gun or whatever you would like to do. So we are exploiting these upgrading, lots of customizing your weapons and vehicles rather than just adding new vehicles or weapons. People have been asking about that for a long time with the different magazine sizes and all sorts of changing the iron sights on some of the weapons might be even. Sounds like a small thing, but people would like to do that as well. So that's what we are looking into.
Next one from Ibrim. This question is somewhat motivated by my extreme excitement to have the Mosin in the game. Cool. I'm curious if it has been considered to add the Mosin carbine. Man, I can't say that word. It's my French accent. To add the Mosin carbine variants, specifically the M38 and M44. And this would serve interesting special roles as paratrooper weapons, for example. 38 and M44.
Let's see.
Designed by Google.
Oh, because obviously
they want us to see that movie.
Yeah, I'm not going to see that movie. The difference is, I can see these are. We are looking into obviously adding some more different weapons for the different classes, and especially for the Soviets who are a bit lacking on some weapons. So that does sound like an interesting thing to look into. See if we can add some special versions of the Mosin for the Soviet paratroopers.
So what? Which one is which?
I have absolutely no idea, but I can see that it's probably the shorter one that he's referring to.
Ah, yeah.
You see here, a short version, which would make sense for a paratrooper.
Ah, yeah. There's people collecting them, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I think there's so many of them produced that it's ridiculous. But it's the same thing as the carbine. We are also, again, looking into getting the folding stock in at some point.
Which one, the M1?
The M1 and then having the M1 available for infantry for the Americans. But we are going to take a bit of we have to take some hard choices very soon about when we add new weapons, because there is some weapons that are only available to certain factions. Bring up the good old Sturmgewehr once more. And for example, we've been looking into these, I think it's called the Johnson LMG as well. There's different weapons for different factions, and so they will have access to various different weapons. Hey, this is cool. It looks nice.
Before we go, we might let's do two things at the same time, because I mean we're kind of getting towards the end, creeping towards. We could show the winners of the screenshot competition, and while this is happening, do you remember where it is?
It's the
Steam something. While you look for it, gonna say if you have any questions related to what we've been discussing, you may start bombing the chat with questions right now, and by bombing I mean bombarding. I'm reading to see if there's anything already about. Oh, why don't we use Bing? That's a good one. Why don't you use Bing instead of Google?
Forget about it.
Next time you need to Google something, use Bing, the better way to Google.
I have absolutely no news. Can I get to it from the news section? I have no idea. I'm not logged into to Steam right now, so I don't really have the.
What was that? Yeah, Battle Vision is called. Yeah, sorry, I didn't.
Here you go.
So yeah, the theme for this this month's contest was firepower, and so the
Jumping over firepower.
yeah. So the first winner is what was his name? Macabre, or was it
What's happening with the internet?
Internet?
Internet slow.
Yeah. Oh, it's macabre. So it's like macabre, but like mixed with a tree. What's going on?
I don't know.
What's going on?
This is the fastest internet in the world. I have no idea. It doesn't work.
It always happens on Friday.
Somebody broke the internet.
Yeah.
What to do?
Just reload the page or something. See that? And come on. Seriously, I'm gonna go look at questions now, and if by the time I find a question,
It's loaded.
it's not loaded, then we're. I'm seeing questions that don't contain verbs. I'm gonna skip those.
Stop shouting at us.
There's a. Oh,
Actually, maybe we should have a little bit of a thing. When you post questions on the forum for us to answer, please let it be questions about stuff that we would like to talk about, rather than this is a bug, fix it, because that's not a question. That's not really a question, and we're just going to skip those, and it's a waste of your time and our time. So please find something that you would like to know about the game, or about how we do stuff and stuff. You can ask all that stuff, but the fix your shit stuff questions is not really questions.
So, question from Fubar Works: how much did you sell Red Bjarne's hair for? Did you donate here? Let's see.
I suddenly discovered I had some hair underneath the other hair, so it's like, wow. I just had to get it cut because it's just getting on my nerves. It was getting too long and too. Yeah, it's just. I have this
Kurt Cobain thing.
No, it's just like it apparently going to the hairdresser is such low priority in my life that I just keep forgetting it. So it's always like I usually have a deal with my hairdresser that when I'm down there, we make the next appointment for the next time I'm going down there, and if I forget it for some reason, then it's just really hard for me to go down there and get a new appointment, which is pretty silly because I could just phone the guy. So my hair tends to get a little bit long sometimes.
Let me see. People are asking about new planes. Will the Germans get the Me-262?
Planes.
This is not. It's really not.
It's not loading yet. Yeah. And it goes into. I cannot do anything mode.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It also looks really nice. Those mines and.
Let me do one thing then. I'm gonna get
planes. We're going to do an update for planes at some point. Not in the foreseeable future though, because we think that we need to do a proper plane package of better controls and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, we'll rather wait with that till we have that we can give you a more complete package of plane updates. But we'll obviously consider that. that Messerschmitt 262.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put the link for the screenshot contest on the chat.
But then again,
of course, people are gonna see this with
262 is probably gonna be pretty.
Oh yeah, that one.
Hard to.
Isn't that the first jet engine?
Not the actual first one. Well, they actually produced quite a lot of them, and they were in combat, and it was an awesome plane. I think a plane like this needs to be incorporated in some sort of like an attack the strategic bombers type missions, and because this is not really done for made for ground close air support. It's more like a shoot down the big planes in the sky type and other fighter planes. But it's an awesome plane though.
It kind of looks awesome.
Yeah.
There is a question about what the hell are they talking about? Ralph Gallant is asking about how is the traction on the terrain coming along, as in the idea that you're depending on what kind of terrain you're riding on.
It's still in development. I should go and talk to the guys who are actually working with it. But yeah, it's
there's
it's something that we're still working on. So it's but obviously, apparently some other stuff came up that was more important, like hit detection.
There's Warf asking, would you consider adding different sight markers to differentiate jeeps from tanks, for example? I just spotted.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Vehicle.
Actually, we did actually talk about that, and we just completely forgot to do anything about it. So that will probably be considered again in some future UI update in game.
Somebody needs to write it down.
Yeah, just keep saying it, then we'll remember it.
And I guess we can take a last one. Watch out, 30807. Question: are you ever going to get damageable terrain like in War Thunder, for example? So I guess
holes in the ground
and stuff like that.
It goes into the same category of destructible buildings and all stuff, and we have been talking about that for a long time, and I think still that we don't really have a good solid solution for that. In the fact that like being able to just completely destroy the level before even getting started might just ruin the game. A lot of thought goes into the actual level design, like view blockers and stuff to hide behind it. If you can just destroy everything, it might not be a very good multiplayer experience.
Yeah, because at some point you kind of designed the level to be some kind of an obstacle course, right?
I think our current terrain system, the technology needs to be upgraded in order to facilitate holes in the ground. Because right now the system has it's not really suitable for digging small holes in, because I don't know if you noticed when you see the terrain mesh on a distance, it actually becomes less and more coarse, less and less polygons, which means that if you have a small hole close to you, in the distance, that hole will just disappear. Mm-hmm. So if somebody a vehicle, for example, is down in the hole 500 meters away, it will be covered. It will be covered with the terrain instead, which is not really good. So we can't really do that right now. But that would require us to update the entire terrain system.
I guess we're gonna call it a day for now. We're going to show you the screenshot contest winners next time, because this is just not. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Maybe you need to update the browser or some dumb thing like that. It's like it's just, I think it's this machine. I think it has a curse on it. We should bring a witch doctor to sacrifice a rooster and lift the curse, and because so there's being said.
That's gonna be for next time. We're gonna sacrifice a rooster.
A rooster live.
Oh yeah,
called Peter. So this being said,
I invite Ozzy Osbourne to the show and see him bite the head of a chicken.
Yes. Yes, just bring Ozzy Osbourne for any purpose.
Oh yeah,
that would be awesome.
That would be great. Yeah.
So this being said, we're going to put all this here is going to be available on Twitch TV later. So if you just walked in, we talked a lot about damage and about weapons. And so this is going to be on Twitch later for you to rewatch. Watch out for the Easter egg around 9 minutes. Also, and we will be putting this on YouTube also as well. You can follow us on Twitch. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. I think you can follow us in a white van with a telescope. So have a pleasant weekend.
Yes.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you for playing. See you next week.
Bye bye.